So I also wanted to share a little bit about my story. How did this geeky little girl become an entrepreneur? And it is, I think most of us actually have similar backgrounds when we are younger. Um, because I do believe that most of us was finding ways to earn money. We were selling lemonades, or we were drawing pictures and selling to the neighbors, or even try to trick our parents to purchase pictures that would just end up in the trash bin anyway. Or maybe we did some chores at home. I had many chores I was doing, and I did not earn a whole lot on those chores. A whole month of hard work would be like $20, and that would be like 15, 20 chores per day, it's something different today when people when kids expect to earn that in an hour for just helping with things they should help with anyway, right? Anyway, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story. And first of all, I wanted to just introduce my beautiful family. I'm a mom of three. The oldest one, Dean, he is now turning 11. Liam is turning 8, and Emilia is turning 5. And they are such a beautiful, like, their personalities are just amazing. All the teachers are always like, they're so helpful, and they're holding up the door, and they're so eager to learn. And yeah, anyway, yes, I'm proud. I'm a proud mom. And then I'm a daughter, of course, to my lovely parents. They have now been together. I think they celebrate like 45 years or something last 2 months ago. And then I'm a wife, and I adore my husband. He's the best. He's the best. But when I grew up, in Sweden. All the people in the family picture, that is us kids. It's 21 years apart from the oldest to the youngest. And when I was growing up, my mom was stay-at-home mom. My dad was working. If you wanted something, you had to provide for it yourself. There was no extra money at all. I'm super grateful that we had food every day and that we had roof over our head, but we did not really have much more. For birthday gifts, it was like a frame where you could put in your own picture. And for Christmas, it was like a stuffed animal you got, and maybe a chocolate thing. So it was not a lot of a lot of money involved, but I love my family. But what it taught me was that if I wanted something, I had to provide for it myself. And I remember in the fourth grade, I went to my parents and told them, I want to be self-sufficient from now on. You're not allowed to purchase anything for me unless it's for birthday or Christmas. So after that day, I purchased all my own clothes. When I was 6 years old, I purchased my own bunny, and I understood that if I have to purchase it, it costs money, then I can earn money, right? So I made bunny babies, and then I sold them, and I saw, oh, this is a business. So I kept on doing that, and then I earned more money, so I could invest in more animals, and I invested in hamsters and guinea pigs and birds and fishes, and I traveled with the bus all over town to sell to different small animal stores, and eventually I also bred my dog. So all of these things I did, it added up. So I was able to purchase a horse when I was 12 years old. And that was a mare. So I breeded her, and I trained her, and I became really good at it, and decided I want to start a breeding program. So I kept on training horses, purchasing more horses when I had money, and kept on breeding and training, and I was really good at it. I really was thriving, and working with horses taught me so much, because you have to become a good leader for a horse to be able to train them. If you break that leadership trust, you are done. You have to start all over with your training, and I was able to train my horses really fast with yeah. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. When I was 14, I traveled the first time to United States all by myself. I've never been outside of Sweden by then. And I just figured out I love traveling so much. So I also traveled. The reason why I traveled was because I was going to go and work for my brother. I was going to babysit their 6-month-old. And I was pretty much by myself 24/7 with the 6-month-old for 2 months. And then I traveled back home. But I really loved traveling. I figured out, even if I was afraid of heights and flying. But I decided to travel to Germany, Brazil, Norway, Finland, and back to the United States again, and all before I was 18. And I paid for all the trips myself. And I just had that drive that I wanted to travel. So I made it happen. And as I was going through school, I was a straight A student that opened up many doors for me. And I was not a straight A because I was the smartest. I was just stubborn and put in all the work needed to get the grades. A lot of the times I felt very stupid, and I was putting in probably 3 or 4 times as much work than some of the other kids in school. But I wanted good grades, so I did it. Anyway, I could have become a doctor. I was debating it, and I could have become a veterinarian. I actually put in applications to go to vet school, but I pulled them because I understood very early on that that will make me have a career that limited me, that wouldn't make me able to stay at home with my kids when they were young, to limit me to only have certain amounts of vacation a year and so on. And I wasn't really interested in that. I'm not afraid of working hard. I've been proving that my whole life, but I want to be in charge myself. And if I need vacation, I want to take vacation. So when I was 19, I started my first business, legit business. Don't judge me for all the stuff I did before. And I offered adventure rides. I had a riding school. I did leadership training with companies and with the firemen and with the police officers and so on in town. I had 22 horses. I was thriving and having so much fun. It was a lot of hard work. It was every day instead of a regular job. And it was not 7 to 5, it was 7 to 10 plus paperwork every day. But I just loved it because it still gave me freedom. I could still choose how I wanted to plan my days. I was happy because it was something that I created. It was something that I owned. So I was very proud of that. And it's not many 19-year-old kids that can go to the bank and get a loan for $50,000 to start your own business because I needed to invest in another building. But as a couple of years went, and I found the love of my life. So I decided that even if I loved horses, even if I loved my company and was thriving with what I was doing and started making really good money, I had a bigger calling in life, and I felt that I was raising kids. So I decided to sell all of my horses and quit my business and move to Norway with my husband, and eventually to the United States, and then back to Norway. And then we have been moving a couple of times. Been moving a lot, and that have been hard for me because I have started different companies, but since we have been moving so much, I always have to close down my company and then start another one. And just when it starts to be profitable, I have to close it down again. But after my firstborn, we were living up in Bodø in Norway, and I remember the day when my mom called and said, "Hey, I have been feeling something. I've been off. I went to the doctors. They found something in my stomach. I don't know what it is." And I was, to be honest, I see myself as a strong person, but after that, I was just sitting on the couch for a whole week until we had more answers and could not function and do anything. Staring in the wall, pretty much. I was living like 12 hours away from my mom. And it was just about waiting to know what it was. And of course, it was cancer. They found a tumor that was big as a baby head inside of her. And we did not know if we were going to be able to have surgery, if she was going to live or not. When I had started Googling and found out that not many people survive colon cancer. I know that my grandpa had died of colon cancer. So it was a very stressful time in my life, and not knowing. My mom was able to qualify for surgery, and she did recover very, very well. But before then, we have researched a lot. I put her on all different kinds of things that could help boost her body to handle it better. And people did not even know that she was sick and that she had had a surgery and that she came back because she was so good, and she did not need any chemo. She only needed radiation, and that was it. But so she was cancer free, life felt good. And then about 6 years later, she was hit again And this time, and the picture is actually from that time, she was worse off that time. And the doctor said, it's all over. There's nothing we can do. And both my mom and I, we knew how much we did for her health the first time. So we did not want to give up. We decided to fight it. So together with some radiation, together with lots of nutrition, nutrients into her system every single hour of her day, and lots of juicing, lots of red beets, lots of different mushrooms and all different kinds of things we found that could benefit her. And we were able to shrink the cancer. We were able to shrink it so much. So eventually the doctors said, okay, we can do surgery. I just got so passionate about nutrition then that when I see the body's ability to heal itself under the right circumstances, I got very passionate. I started researching other things as well. And I've been researching a lot, but I was helping people all over. In my family, in my sister's family, I had friends I helped, and so on. And a lot of the things that always comes up that helps, I mean, it's always inflammation that is the root cause to most issues. Omega-3 is coming up, something that is good. Change your diet and go gluten-free is something that always comes up. And beta-1316 glucan is something that always comes up. So it inspired me to actually go back to school to study to become a Swedish nutritionist. And I'm very fascinated about the cellular health, gut health, and inflammation. So I've been specialized in that. But the thing was that even if I had so much knowledge, there was a couple of things with my own health I could not figure out. And I felt I did everything according to the books and what I needed to do. But I still was struggling. After my second child, I developed grass and pollen allergy that turned into become a cross allergy. And soon I could not eat any fruits, including watermelon, strawberries, and so on. And a lot of the veggies like cucumbers, avocados, and carrots, I had such a bad allergic reaction every time. I needed to use 2 to 3 different allergy medications to be able to function. So that was one of the issues I was struggling with. And I was struggling with that for 5 years. And then I also was struggling with low immune system. And I understand the reason for it today, but did not understand it then, because to me, I was already eating healthy. I was focusing on whole foods. I was a healthy person. I was living an active life, always been into sports and writing and doing things actively with my body. And I did not understand why I was so sick week after week after week that I ended up at the hospital after 4 months, and no one could find a good reason for it or why I was so sick. The biggest problem I was struggling with was chronic neck pain. And this developed after my third child. There is not really a good explanation for it. I was laying on the couch with my baby girl on top of me. My boys were at my neighbor's house. My friend Shana took care of them. And I was laying there, and suddenly I just hear a and I feel a burning sensation from the top of my skull down my spine. And I could not move. And my phone was really close to my hand. I don't have my, oh yeah, I have my phone there. And my phone was like just this far away from my hand, but I could not stretch to reach it because the pain was so excruciating that I could not move. And it really made me scared, scared of like, what just happened? And frustrated. And my baby girl, I just remember it. She was just a newborn and she pooped her diaper right after this happened. And you know, if you're a mom, you know that baby poop, it destroys the butt so fast. You want to change the diaper as soon as possible because their skin is so tender and I cannot do anything. And that chronic neck pain was the start of 2 years of losing hope in life. It's so much trauma behind this because it was so painful every day that I can still not, even if it's almost 3 years ago I went through this, I can still not tell my story without breaking out in tears. It was painful when I mean, all the time. I could not sleep because head, every single time my body moved, my head could not follow because my brain thought I was paralyzed because of the pain. So I had to literally move my head with my hands. And having a newborn, you're breastfeeding on one side, trying to change position, trying to lift your baby. It was just it was hard to function. I could not function as a mother, I could not function as a wife, I could not carry my kids like I wanted to. I could not play with them and climb trees or go out camping with them. And my whole life surrounded about what was I able to do instead of what did the kids want to do. And it was hard. It was really hard. And I'm thankful that I had kids that kept me sane and alive because the pain was so strong. It was many days I was just like, I need to find a solution because I cannot go on like this. And I tried to find a solution. Every week I went to different practitioners, different massage therapists, chiropractors, osteopaths. I have been to the doctors in the United States. I've been to them in Norway. They have done MRI in both places. No one really find a good reason for me to struggle with so much pain. And eventually the doctors gave up and said, oh, you probably need a psychologist because we think the pain is up in your head.
I can't move my head forward. I can't, like, if I'm moving it, onto this, it's like, it's so painful.
So I found an evidence-based, test-based, and science-based health concept after a friend of mine called me and said, hey, I found a blood test you should look into, an omega-3. And I was like, I'm already using omega-3 every single day for the last 6 years. I'm already using it. But I looked into it, and what it came out is that I actually had too much inflammation on cellular level. And the food I had been eating, even if it was healthy diet and good supplements, it was not good enough. It was not good enough for me, but my body. And malnutrition type B is something a lot of people are struggling with. Us not getting enough of nutrients, so our body is not able to function. And it all makes sense. The more you learn, the more it will be like, oh, yeah, that's how it is. It's very understandable. Anyways, I corrected that. And after 120 days, my blood test showed something completely different. And I could feel it in my body because my whole body had transformed. And the reason for that is because I want to explain this a little bit because it's hard for you to like, oh, how can that be? Well, our whole body is built up with about 37 trillions of cells. Those cells need to be built up in a special way. If it's a healthy cell, the food we're eating and the nutrients are able to get into the cells and the waste and toxins are able to get out. If we're not, if we're having an unhealthy cell, it gets harder. The nutrients are not able to get in and waste and toxins are not able to get out. The omega-6s are pro-inflammatory, omega-3s are anti-inflammatory, and those are essential fatty acids start building up the structure. So when we are lacking omega-3, we're building up the cells with more omega-6s instead, causing the cell membrane to become harder, but also have more inflammation on cellular level. So when we're looking at it, if we're building up our body with the wrong structure, it affects the whole body negatively. If we're able to correct it, it affects the whole body positively. So that is what happened to me, and I became pain-free and a fun-loving wife again, and a fun and active mom again. And I'm so grateful for this, and that's why I'm so passionate. And I know that I'm gonna be here and stay with this company for the rest of my life, because if it could change my life this much, when doctors have been giving up on me and no one could really explain it, I was just like, how will this affect the rest of the world? And the best part is that I have been able to build a global business where it doesn't matter where we live, we can move and we can do whatever we want, and I can still bring my business with me. But the best part is that I can be happy again. I can be pain free. I can drink smoothie again without allergy medication. It's just lovely how the body is changing if we're getting the right essential nutrients into our body. The sad part is that omega-3 don't work, and that's what we can see. We have done now over close to 1 million blood tests. And what they're showing is that even if 16% of the American population is using omega-3 daily, only 1% have good balance because most supplements don't work. But if you go to, I mean, there's so much science. On Google Scholar, you find 3.1 million of articles regarding omega-3. It's good for rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, mood-related issues, cardiovascular disease, and so on. The omega-3 product I have in my web shop because I do have a franchise of an e-commerce business. I have my own web shop. I also earn commission of the franchises I'm helping to set up. And that is sometimes a franchise for a health coach, or it's a franchise for a clinic, or it's a franchise for a stay-home mom that wants to increase her income. But our omega-3 is bioavailable for over 35 hours. And that is what is the game changer, because most supplements is not bioavailable in our system that long. And the reason for that is simply because we are adding the right antioxidant. I will explain more about the chemical processes. I just wanted to pull out a couple of things that you can understand why we are so different. And that is making us be able to prove over and over again with a blood test from an independent laboratory that our product is working. So thanks to this business, I have been able to meet so many amazing people along the way. I've been able to travel the world, Las Palmas, Dubai, Norway. Next in March, I'm going to Mexico. Of course, free. The company is paying an all-inclusive trip every year if you qualify. And I've been so blessed with meeting a lot of amazing people and building up this business that is a global business. But I really want to focus here in the United States now, and in Phoenix area in particular. I want us to build this up and build United States because we're expanding here now, and it's gigantic, big opportunity for people that are joining in now. We're many people that are wanting to join in and utilize this as our business. Do you want to be a part of it? Well, what we're doing is actually we're growing. We learn a little bit at a time, and eventually we're able to create something big together. So that's my invitation. If you're interested, book a call. Let's see if we should work together. Take care. Bye-bye.